Hi everyone, Ravi this side. Welcome to EnggAdda. So today I'm going to discuss how you can create your DevOps integration. So let me brief you about the integration that we are going to develop here. So let's say a developer is committing a code to the GitHub, and then after that we have created one pipeline, Jenkins pipeline, where the Jenkins is taking up the code from the GitHub, and then after that it is following the pipeline, and in the pipeline we have different stages. Like stage 1 is doing the build of the project, the second is stage is creating the docker image of our application, and the third stage is pushing our docker image to the docker hub. So this is what we are going to develop in this video, so let's get started. So let me go to the IntelliJ and then let me create the project first, and then after that what I will do, I will try to push that project to the GitHub. So go to the IntelliJ, let me create one Spring Boot project here. So file, new, and then project. Okay, let's say the name of project is Spring DevOps integration. Okay, now let me go next, and then let's say I'm going to create a simple web application where I will be creating one get mapping. So that is why I'm using the Spring Web. So it will take few seconds to configure itself and to download all the dependency that we have added. So here you can see it is resolving those things and importing the Maven project. So I think it is done. Now let me go to the source, main, Java, and here let me create one get mapping. Okay, now let me go down, get mapping. Let's say get, and then it's simply returning some string. Get message, something like that. Okay, let me return welcome to EnggAdda, something like that. Okay, so we are done with the get mapping. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a Docker file and then some changes in the pom.xml to create our jar file. So let me do that. So let me create a file called Docker file. Please note that the name of the Docker file should be similar how I have provided here. D should be capital, and then after that everything should be small. Add it, and here we need to do some configuration. So we need to add the OpenJDK. So from OpenJDK 17 I'm going to use, and now we need to add the location where our jar file will be created. So let's say I'm going to create our jar file in the target location. So target, and the name of the jar file, let's say I'm going to name the jar file like Spring DevOps, something like that. Spring DevOps. Okay, dot jar. Let me copy this. This is the location and this is the jar file. Now let me try to provide the entry point. So it's Java minus jar, and then we need to provide the jar file here, which is DevOps Spring DevOps dot jar. Okay, now we are good. So let me go to the pom.xml and then try to create the jar file name here. So final name, and this is jar file name. So we are done with the configuration of our Spring Boot project. We have created one get mapping, we have created a Docker file, and the changes that we need to do in the pom.xml to create a Docker file, I already did it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to push this project to the GitHub. So let me open the GitHub desktop, come to the file, add local. Then I need to choose the project that I have created. So it is Spring DevOps, Spring DevOps integration. Add this. Let's say it's first commit. Okay, let me push this. Okay, so it will be pushed to the GitHub. So I think, yeah, we have pushed this. Let me go to the GitHub and then show you how it is looking like. Come to EnggAdda, and this is a public repo, so you can use this directly. I will provide you the link of this repository in my video description. So this is the application. Okay, we have added the Docker file, so everything is working now. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a Jenkins pipeline. So for that, what I need to do, I need to make our Jenkins var file up. So I'm using the Jenkins var to log into the Jenkins. So I will try to up this var file. So let me go to the location where I have stored my var file. So it is inside D drive, Jenkins var, and then I need to provide the command to run our Jenkins var file. So it is java -jar jenkins.var. Okay. So it will be up in few seconds on the port number 8080, which is default port for the Jenkins. So let it up, and then after that what I will do, I will try to log in there and then we'll try to create the pipeline. So what will be there in the pipeline? You can see the Jenkins is up and running. So let me try to log in first and then explain you what the pipeline will be looking like. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a Jenkins is declarative is pipeline. So there what I need to do, I need to create a pipeline such a way that there should be more than one stages, and in each stage we'll try to provide the work what what each step will do. So let's say I have created three different stages. The first stage is doing the build of the project, and then second is stage is creating the Docker image of our project, and then third stage is pushing that image to the Docker hub. So that what I'm going to do now. So if you're going to create a pipeline, so you need to install the pipeline plugin first. So how you can install it, you can go to the manage Jenkins, and you can go to the manage plugin. Because I already have installed, so it will be there in the installed. Let me show you the plugin name. So it is pipeline. You can see this is the pipeline plugin. If it is not installed for you, you can go to the available plugin and search for the pipeline here. It will come here and you can install it. Okay, you can check this option, either install without restart, download now, and install after restart. So both of the options are available, you can choose any of them. So once it is installed, what you need to do, you need to go to the dashboard, go to the new item, and then here you can see this pipeline option, right? So here we need to create a pipeline. So let's say I'm going to create this pipeline name as Spring DevOps. Okay, and then we need to choose the pipeline and then okay. So our pipeline will be created here. So you can provide the name here, Spring Pipeline, something like that. Spring DevOps pipeline. Okay. Now you need to provide the GitHub project link here. So let me go to the GitHub and then copy this project link. come here and then provide the URL here. Now what I need to do, go down. If you want to trigger your build every time when you are committing the changes to the GitHub, so you can choose this poll ACM and provide the cron expression here. So for the cron to start building your application every time when you are committing the changes to the GitHub, you need to provide the cron expression like this. So it is star 5 times. So every time you are committing the changes, it will start the pipeline. So let's say this is done. Now let me go down. Here you need to provide your script. So in the script you need to provide the stages what you are going to build here. So first of all, let me provide the pipeline. So we need to provide the script here. So the script is start with the pipeline. Okay, so pipeline, and then inside pipeline we need to provide the agent here. So let's say any agent I'm going to provide here, agent, and let's say it's any. And then after that, what we need to provide, we need to provide the tools what you are going to use. So let's say I'm going to use the Maven tool to build our project. So it is tools, and inside tools what I need to provide, I need to provide the tool name. So it is Maven, and the tool that what I'm going to pick is Maven tool. So it's Maven tool. I will show you from where it is picking up. Okay, and then I need to provide the stages. So 3 stages I will provide, but now I'm just going to provide the first stage, which is Maven clean install. So we are going to just build our project. So the first stage I'm going to provide here. So it is stages, and inside stages we have to provide the stage and then name of the stage. So let's say it's Maven build, or build Maven, something like that. Okay, and then we need to provide the steps of that stage. So steps, and here you need to provide the command. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to generate the command for us. So you can use this pipeline syntax. Go to this, and then here for the git checkout, we are just going to use this command, checkout from the version control. Okay, and here you need to provide the URL of your application in the git. So this is the URL. Okay, since I'm using the public repository, so I need not to provide the credential here. If you're using the private repository, you need to provide your GitHub login credentials here. So let me go down. Let me go down. Everything is fine. So here you can see this option, generate pipeline script. You have to click on this. So it will generate one pipeline script. So let me copy this and come to the Jenkins. So inside step we need to provide this checkout pipeline, and then we need to provide our command to run the Maven build. So for that, what we need to do, we are just going to run the command here. So the command is Maven clean install. So it is mvn clean install. Okay, so what we did, we have created one pipeline, we have provided our agent, we have provided our Maven tool, and then after that I have created the first stage inside these stages. And the first stage, what we are doing, we are just simply doing a Maven build, and we are running this command Maven clean install. Okay, so if you have not installed the Maven on your Jenkins, so you need to install it. So how you can do it? So let me show you that first. So before going there, let me try to save this. Okay, so now let me go to the dashboard, and then let me go to the manage plugin, sorry, manage Jenkins, and then you need to go to the global tool configuration. So here you will see the option how you can manage your others tools like JDBC URL. Okay, you can say JDK, you can say Git. Similarly, you can also see the Gradle, and so here the Maven is also there. So either you can provide your local maven.exe file location, or you can also use your own Maven plugin here in the Jenkins. So you can go to the Maven installation, and then you can see the Maven tool name is Maven tool, and here I have provided the version of the Maven, and similarly you need to provide it. Okay, and then you need to apply and then save. If it is asking for let's say, let me show you Maven installer. Here you can see it is asking how you have to install the Maven. So you can choose any of them. So I choose this install from Apache. Okay, and then let me close this one because I already have installed the previous version of the Maven. You can see 3.8.6, and then you need to apply and save. So it will install. When you are going to build your application, it will install the Maven in your Jenkins, and then after that it will pick up all the Maven command from there. So this is what you need to do. Now let me go to the dashboard and let me go to the pipeline that we have created. So the pipeline name was Spring DevOps, right? Let me open this configure. So we are done with the configuration, right? Okay. We have provided the cron expression for pole SCM, and we also created our pipeline script where we have created the stages and we have created first stage. Okay. Now you need to apply and then save, and then you can see it already run. So the Maven build is success. Let me try to rerun this and then show you. So you need to click on the build now, and then you can see it started building. Now let me go to the build, and you can see this console output. You can go there to see how it is working. So you can see it is building our application. So it is doing that. Once the build will be succeed, then it will stop this pipeline. You can see the build is success, right? Now let me go up and then let me show you what is happening here. So it is taking up our project from the Git, and then it is simply building that. So our first pipeline, our first stage is working fine. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create the second stage where we are just going to create our Docker image, and then the third stage we are going to push that Docker image to the Docker hub. So let me go to the configuration of this project. Come here, and then let me go to the configure, and here you need to provide the stage second in the pipeline. So let me copy this. Okay, now let me paste it here, and let's say the stage name is build Docker image. Okay, now what is the step? You need to run one script here, how you can build your Docker image. So let me remove this, and inside this step we need to run one script here. So let's say script, and let me try to remove this as well, and here we need to run the script or command to build our Docker image. So the command to build our Docker image is docker build -t, and then you need to provide the name of your repository and then the image name that you want to generate. So let's say my repository name for the Docker hub is EnggAdda. I will show you. when I will log into the Docker Hub. So it is EnggAdda, and then Git. You need to provide your uh, Docker image name. So let's say I'm going to provide the name of our Docker images is Spring DevOps, something like that. Is Spring. We need to see what name we have provided in our Docker file. So let me go to the application, Spring DevOps. Let me copy this and then where it is. Let me remove. Okay. And then we need to provide the root directory. So this is what our command look like for the Docker build. So before going to run this pipeline, what you need to do, you need to make your Docker application up on your local machine. So I'm using Docker desktop. So let me open this and let it up. Then after that, what we need to do, we need to run this pipeline. So it will take few seconds. And then I will also show you how my Docker Hub repository name is looking like. So let me come to the images. These are all the local images that I have. Okay. You can see we don't have any image with the name Spring DevOps. So it is not there. Let me try to minimize this and let me try to log into the Docker Hub to show you my repository name. Okay, come here. So basically it is the username, I think. Yeah. So you can see this is my repository name, which is EnggAdda. I have provided there in my command. So let me go to the Jenkins pipeline. Okay, so we have created our second stage, which is build Docker image. And this is the steps that we are providing here. We are simply running our Docker build command. Okay, so let me apply this, save it, and then it will automatically pick, or if it is not picking up, let me build it now. Okay, so you can see our build has started. Let me come here and then let me go to the console output. So you can see it is started building our application. Okay. Okay, once the build is succeed, it will go to the next stage, which is building our Docker image. You can see our Docker image has started building here. Okay, it is finished success. That means our Docker image is created locally. So let me come here, let me show you. So you can see our Docker image is created with the name Spring DevOps. You can see it has created before a minutes ago. Okay, so we are done with the second stage, which is creating the Docker image. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create the third stage where we are just simply pushing our image to the Docker Hub. So let me go to the Docker Hub and let me refresh it to show you that I don't have the Docker image with the name Spring DevOps. Okay, so this many Docker image I have in my Docker Hub. Now let me come to the Jenkins and create our third stage. Okay, so let me come to our application or job that we have created. Go to the configure and then we need to provide our third stage. So let me copy the stage. Okay, and then put it here. It is push Docker image. Okay, so there is a script that we need to run for this. So the first script is to log into the Docker Hub. Okay, so either you can provide the credential here in the Jenkins itself. So you can go to the pipeline syntax, and here you need to go to with credential. You can see this option, and here inside this you need to go to the secret text, and then you need to create your secret text here, but I'm not going to follow it. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm just simply making this application login from my local. So the Jenkins will take up my local login, and it will log in from my local. I already have logged in my local, so it will automatically pick up from there. So let me come to the job. Let me go to the configure. Come here. Okay, so we have not saved it. So let me copy the stage again. Paste it out. Push Docker image to Docker hub. Okay, now you need to provide the commands for that. So let me copy this command. So the first command is to log in with the Docker. So the command for that is Docker login. So let me try to remove everything. It's Docker login. Okay. So what it will do, it will log in to the Docker. So it will take my local already saved Docker username and password. Okay, because my Docker desktop is already running, so I have logged in, you can see. So it will take up from there, and then it will push that image to the Docker hub. So let me try to write the command for pushing our Docker image to the Docker hub. So it is Docker push and then image name. So Docker push and the image name. So image name is, let me copy from the above. Copy this, come down and then paste it out. Okay, so we are good now. Now let me apply this and save it, and let me try to run the build. So it is started building. Now let me go to the build console output, come down. So you can see it is started building our application. Okay, build is succeed. First stage is complete. Now it is started creating our Docker image. Okay, and the third stage is Docker login, which is authenticating, and login succeed, and then it will try to push our Docker image to the Docker hub. So let me come to the Docker hub and then refresh this. Let me refresh again. Okay, it is not yet pushed. Let me come here. Okay, so you can see it is pushed now. Let me come to the Docker hub. Let me refresh this again. So you can see the Spring DevOps image is pushed now few seconds ago. So this is how our whole DevOps integration is looking like. Now let me try to create a Docker container for our Docker image and try to run that container and try to access the API that we have created. So for that, first of all, what I need to do, I need to run our Docker image locally in the Docker container. So let me go to the Docker images. You can see our image is here, and you can also run it from this option. But I'm not going to run it from the Docker desktop. I'm going to open a command prompt, and from there I will try to run the Docker image. So let me try to run the command called Docker images to see what all images we have locally. So let's say it's Docker images. You can see this is the image name that we have created. So now let me try to run the Docker run -p, and we need to provide the port number. So let's say I'm going to run the Docker image on the port number 9090, and then the internal port is 8080 on which our application is internally working, and then we need to provide the image name. So let me copy this name, paste it out here, and then simply enter it. So you can see our application is up now. Now let me go to the browser and then try to hit the API. HTTP localhost 9090 and then get. Let me try to see what is the API that we have created. So come here, you can see this is the get mapping and the slash get is the mapping for the get mapping. So this is the API. Let me hit it. You can see we are able to see the message, welcome to Engineering Adda. So this is how our whole DevOps integration is looking like. So what we did, let me summarize the whole thing. So we have created a Spring Boot application. We have developed the application and then we pushed that application to the GitHub. From there, we have created one Jenkins pipeline. We have created three different stages. And first stage was to build the application. Second was to create the Docker image, and third was to push the Docker image to the Docker hub. And then we perform each stages one by one. So this is how the whole DevOps is looking like. So if you like the video, please hit the like button and please subscribe the channel for more such content. Thanks.